No Liam Pessel this afternoon. Meant a change in the back, so Josh Nunes come back, and a couple of other changes as well. What was your thinking behind that?
It was kind of standardised, really. Obviously, Nunes has played in that position for us before, and we know that he can do it. It's where, again, we're quite lucky. Our squad is dynamic. We've got players that can play up to 3 different positions. So it was good to see Josh come back in after a little spell on the sidelines with injury. So, timings-wise, it worked out well for us. Apart from that, we've had a little couple of game plan changes this week just to try and see if we can get that extra 5% out of certain individuals and try and see if we can create a bit more football. I think that's the one thing as a coaching staff we identified, is that we just needed to be a bit more positive with the ball and seeing if we could cause teams a bit more issues in possession. And I think we did that.
And it felt, particularly in the first half, that Colliers Wood were frustrating Fleet at times with their play. Obviously, again, lots of opportunities in front of goal. I think we counted 3 times on commentary that the crossbar was hit in the space of 5 minutes. Are some of those chances got to be put away?
We do. We've got to get to that point where it's hitting the back of the net. As a coach and as a gaffer, it's happy that we're creating the opportunities and we're getting into those positions. But we've stated to the boys now that there is that point where the net has to ripple. We're doing the 90%. The last 10% needs to be done. There's frustration still in there for me, and we've highlighted it with the boys. I think there was a 10-minute spell in the first half where the boys just stopped moving. They became a bit static. Which allowed Colliers Wood to grow into the game. But again, then when we started moving and we started being active off the ball, all of a sudden we're creating opportunities again. And I think today our press was good. We had moments where maybe the odd player cheated, and again, they understood that. And the second that they weren't then doing that, we're winning the ball high up the pitch. So it's a new thing we're looking at, and that's the thing. That's the great thing we're at with the squad at the moment, is it's about developing a model of play that's going to keep bringing us success. We've done something for the past 4 weeks. We've now introduced something different, and hopefully it'll keep flourishing.
Colliers Wood went down to 10 players quite early on in the first half. How did that impact Fleet's game?
No real change. I think it was a case of the boys then realised that if they could hit the work rate levels that we were specifying and expecting, success would come from it. Because I think, as we experienced last week, whilst we were superb in defence and our out possession went down to 10 men against Alton, we weathered the storm as such. But at some point, it's going to break. And I think last week, whilst we were unlucky, I think it's just a moment. I think with this game, we were on top anyway, and we had a lot of ball possession. So it was a case of, right, lads, if you can now be aggressive and positive and angry on the ball, that goal will come. That goal will come. The pressure will keep building, and they won't be able to deal with it. And Josh Nunes stuck in the back of the net.
How well did you think Fleet dealt with the pressure that Colliers Wood were applying? Because Colliers Wood has obviously come here to try and prove a point. Obviously struggling at the moment in the combined counties, and are looking to try and start a bit of a run of games of form. But it looked at periods of time they looked pretty dangerous.
They're looking good, and that's got to be credit to their coaching staff. I had a good chat with their gaffer just before the game, and like he said, he's come into a team where it's a pre-season for them, and that's dangerous. That's dangerous for a team like us, because their boys are there to prove a point to their manager. They want to nail down their starting 11 place, and they've had a few weeks now where you can see that what they're working on the training ground is starting to flourish and bring success. They've got a young squad, and you know what? They play some quite fast-paced, exciting football. They're very quick on the transition. It took us, I'd say, a couple of times to realise that. And again, it's that, like we keep saying to the boys, at this level, you've got to work hard. You've got to work hard off the ball, because if you put the effort in off the ball, you'll outplay a team. You will out-dominate them physicality-wise. But you can't allow a team, Colliers, when their players turned up, they said it was a relegation battle today, and that's how they were trying to get in our heads. And that's fair play to them. I don't mind that. I like the fact that they're trying to show that level, because, we were in their position last year and we came out of it with adversity. So you know what? Credit to them. If they've got that mentality, they'll get there. So fair play to them. They gave us a game and we had to be professional and finish the game off.
What did you make of the delivery of set pieces today?
It was good. I think it's a case of it's more, I'm not so worried about the delivery of the set pieces. At the moment, it's the end product. I think it's getting to that point where, as a coaching team, we've put different ideas and placing things to the team. I think obviously the fans would have seen that today with a couple of different routines, which is causing teams problems, because, it's there to make it not look so boring and basic and the standardised corner routines or free kick routines. But our boys need to be a bit more aggressive on the ball. They need to get their head on it and actually look to basically be juggernauts. Get through them and smack them to the ground, because that is how you win in a set piece. And that's when, again, it's about making that net ripple.
Yeah, we definitely did see some very different and unusual starts to set pieces, which I know were highlighted quite a bit on our commentary this afternoon. The goal then sort of came from a defensive mistake by Colliers Wood. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's similar to maybe our scenario last week at Alton. When you're putting pressure on a team, it's going to get to that point when you're down to 10 men, you're going to get tired. And we were relentless with the pressure that we kept sticking on them. And it's one of those moments. It's a scramble in the box. We've won the first contact. They then haven't cleared it, and we've got the ball in the back of the net. And it's about that power and that intent to keep going for the second ball, make them make a mistake, and you'll get success. And that's what we did.
Obviously, we had Liam Pessell in commentary with us today, and it was absolutely fantastic. But how much of a miss was he on the pitch today?
Liam's always going to be a miss. He's a big senior player within our team, and obviously he guides and makes sure the boys are doing what we expect. He's a big leader in the back four, and he's a big leader within the 11. But again, even without him in the team, he's in and around the dressing room. He's talking to the boys. He's making sure they're hitting their standards and the rest of it. And again, it's down to the boys to make up for not having him in the team. That's also part of it. We need other characters to step up, which we saw today. I think Naz was absolutely superb. I think he really showed us something on Thursday, again, coming back from injury, and he showed everything on the pitch today. He's one player I can say walked off that pitch today having left everything on the green stuff, and that takes a lot of credit. I just hope Liam behaved with you on commentary.
Oh, absolutely did. And we actually gave him the opportunity to name the player of the match on our commentary.
Ooh.
And he went for Bradley Manning. Would you have agreed with that, or would you have gone a slightly different way?
No, I think Liam is completely correct with that. I mean, Brad has come off the pitch today. I think you can say his head is wobbling. He's won so many headers. And look, Brad's been brilliant for us since he's come in from Leatherhead, and he's again, one of our players is extremely dynamic. I can play him in numerous positions. Today you've seen him at right back. At one point he's gone right wing, and then he's gone centre mid. And Brad's another leader now in our dressing room. The boys look up to him and they see the effort that he's putting on the pitch and how he's conducting his game, which then means that he's lifting the other lads. And, as a gaffer, that's all you can ask from for your players. And if everyone can start seeing what players like him, like Brad's doing, or like a Naz did today, this team will start kicking on. And we're seeing that now. We're starting to see our models of play being more successful. And it's a Brad Manning that's leading it from the front. And that is important.
Connor Young received a yellow card and the sin bin. I think the first time I've seen the sin bin being used. Is that something we should be worried about seeing? Or were you quite happy for the ref to use the sin bin in that situation?
No, I'm glad. You know what? Today, fair play to the referee. I think the referee had a good game. A very, very good game, because he made his mark early doors. We knew how he was going to referee the game, and there wasn't anything that I'd say was contentious or any decisions. And you know what? It's good that the referee used the sin bin, because at the start of the season, we were told the officials were going to use the sin bins more if any player used any form of ill language or poor discipline towards the official. So it was good to see that he'd done that. Our player has to learn from that. It doesn't matter if it's off the ball, it could be at himself, whatever it be. You have to behave in those situations 100%. And yeah, I think well done to the referee for doing that, because I want to see more of that, because we've gone up against teams this year where players haven't been showing that respect to the officials. And I'd like to say that, we're very good with that. I'd like to say that we actually make sure that the officials are not abused, because they've got a hard job, which means their standards on the pitch hopefully stay high. So, no, it was good from him today.
One more game this coming up on Tuesday in the Cup, and then it seems to be quite a few back-to-back away games in the combined counties. So, is there any thoughts of looking ahead towards those?
Definitely. Obviously, we've already done our plan and prepping for Frimley on Tuesday. We've had it watched. We've had a lot of analysis done on them. Aaron, our analyst, has done a full document write-up on them. So we know how we're going to go and deal with them on Tuesday. Again, as a cup game, everyone lifts their levels. Doesn't matter what league you're in. It doesn't matter what step you're at. Everyone goes up a gear. It's down to us to make sure that the boys read the analytical reports, they follow the formation and the plans that we're going to be setting in place. And for me, it's an opportunity to kick on in a cup. It's one of the cups that we identified under the old management that we wanted to put a lot of success into. It's something that we think that we can go off and win. So it's down to us to really kick on and hopefully do that.
Elliott, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, gents.
And then finally 3 points, 1-0 win, clean sheet. How does it feel to have a clean sheet?
Brilliant. I think the boys deserve it. I think the defenders have been fantastic for the last few weeks, and they've been unlucky in scenarios. I think last week showed that we could have had a clean sheet out of that, and it was just a moment. But Joel, since he's coming from Basingstoke, has been superb, and he's earned the right today. Again, he's been solid. Aerial domination from that boy is absolutely brilliant, and his game management for a young man is very, very good. The boys trust him, and he's coming on leaps and bounds, and he's going to be someone who's going to be important for us going forward this season. He's going to give us that calm and collective feel behind the ball. And as I think we're seeing, he's a good sweeper keeper as well. Balls come in, Joel's there. He's communicating. He's growing into this squad quite nicely. So, yeah, I think hopefully let's see if we can join a few up now. I think that's important for us to kick on, especially league table-wise. It's all about goal difference. So, yeah, hopefully we'll see a few more clean sheets.
Elliott, thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, gents.